Hey there, good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Bijane, the grant guru with BK International Education Consultancy. And what we do every month, just for 10 minutes, we talk about some grant tips. And so for tonight, we are going to focus on, are you ready for a grant? Are you ready for a grant? We know several teachers out there are spending out of their pocket for classroom supplies, and there's no need because there are millions, can I tell you, millions of dollars that are available in funding for teachers just like yourself or for a teacher that you may know. So let's get into, are you ready for a grant? Before I do, I want to talk to you a little bit more about BK International Education Consultancy. Our mission is to strengthen educators' practices to better serve youth. And typically we do that through training and services such as this, providing coaching tips on anything from STEAM education to grant writing. As you see here, our expertise is in program development, implementation, and management, curriculum and instructional design services, as well as continuing education and training. And we are here for all pre-K through 12 school communities, youth and parent organizations, as well as government and nonprofit agencies. So with that being said, the focus for tonight is, are you grant ready? How can we check to make sure you're ready to collect those dollars? And so what we're going to do today is have you to evaluate your grant readiness, and the overall outcome is in anticipation that our tips will help you build your knowledge and confidence to grant write to increase student supports in your classroom or in your school. So grant readiness checklist. We have a tool in our grant writing for educators toolkit, or our grant writing starter guide, which we like to call it, where you can check through these various things to see if you are ready for a grant. And some of those questions include, when you are checking for funding and you find one that you want to apply for your school or for your students, does the purpose of the grant align with the mission of your school? So some people may not understand why that's important, but you definitely want to make sure whenever you're going after funding that the funder is authentic and true to the mission and the purpose or the project that you are wanting to have their support in. You want there to be a good alignment. I know it's easy to say, oh, we just want to go where the dollars are, but you truly want to make sure that there is a partnership in alignment there. You also want to take a peek at your organization's at their organizations, who are they normally giving out to, right? Can you figure out who are they normally giving to? And is it to a group similar to your size? So you, as an educator, want to be mindful of that, because this will help you identify, should we go after a classroom grant, or maybe should we tap into a larger pool of funding that could maybe support the whole school, or maybe even our school community in some kind of way. So those are some things to think about. Another thing that you'll find on the grant readiness checklist is thinking through things like, are your students' needs supported by data? So before you go after a classroom grant, you want to make sure that you have data to back up your need for grant funds. Okay. And we know that data is king. Data talks, and educators, we make data-driven decisions all the time. Funders like to see those numbers as well. So that's another thing that you want to be mindful of, is as you're writing your grant proposal, do you have statistics and data that can support your project, the need for your project, the need to be able to address your students' needs, and that the funding will help you be able to do. All right, so those are just a couple of things for you to consider with our grant readiness toolkit. And what we have here for all of you out there who would like to get a copy, just ask the guru and you shall receive. You shall absolutely receive. We want you to follow back with us, post. We're going live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you have any other questions, hit us up, DM us, or type those questions in so that we can answer your additional grant questions, because you may see those questions answered on one of our next segments. And for all of those who are here today, if you want that grant writing starter guide that I talked about earlier that has the grant readiness checklist inside, hey, I have a win for you. I know teachers love free resources, educators love free resources. Right now, Kindle Unlimited is allowing you to have 2 months free access to all of their ebooks. And you can actually get ours, the Grant Writing Starter Kit, called 12 Quick Steps to Writing Winning Classroom Grants, on Kindle Unlimited. So sign up now so you can get access to this great resource that has the funding grant readiness toolkit. The other thing is, just because you've been watching us and you're a viewer of ours, you can also go to tinyurl.com/grant checklist 21 to download a copy of that grant readiness checklist. So again, the checklist, we have several, one targeted to nonprofits, but then we also have one specifically targeted to educators. This is the one for the educators. If you are a classroom teacher, you are a daycare teacher, a teaching assistant, a school administrator, you work at central office at a district, any type of educator, maybe you're homeschooling, you want to think about getting this grant readiness checklist, and it's all for free. So tinyurl.com/grant checklist 21. So that's all that we have for today. We greatly appreciate you. If you know of an educator who could use one of our tools and you want to help out, also consider contributing to our Buy Books Change Live campaign. You can go to tinyurl.com/donate to the number 2 teachers. So we will give them a copy of our grant writing starter guide, 12 quick steps to writing winning classroom grants. So that's a win-win. Stay connected. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube at BK Consultancy. We're also on Instagram, IG, the gram at BK_consultancy. So we'll see you all next month, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we will see you all soon. You all have a great week. Bye.